Hello and welcome back to the F1 2004 career mode. Today we are here at the United States Grand Prix for a race at Indianapolis. Now, in all of my time recording sort of F1 gaming videos, I don't think I've ever had one quite like this. You'll see what happens when I get into this. But in terms of qualifying, not so bad. I mean, in comparison to what we have finished in quali, we're starting 17th, so I'll take that. Not last, but I think it's definitely going to be one where we're going to need to do some overtaking very quickly. So here we are, not starting last. Where can we go from here? We're looking just in front of us here. We've got the Jordan to our right, Webber directly in front, and the lights are out, and away we go here for this 9th round of the season. So, sprinting down to the first corner, not the greatest start in the world, but only losing one position, and as all the cars look to the inside, I think, why not try the outside? And it works out for me. Loads of cars just stop on the apex at turn 1. Not the best way to overtake loads of drivers, but nonetheless I'll have to take it here after starting so far down. And into turn 1, can't quite believe it, but great move down the inside of our teammate Panis. We nearly lock up and go straight on across the grass, but thankfully we don't, and we continue in our 9th position. Somehow only one place away from points after starting in 17th so early on in this race. I'll take it, but of course a lot of those were cars getting bottled up at turn 1. So you may notice, why have I got top end speed over all of these guys? Well, look at the setup. You can see from the camber in the front wheels, I've gone with something pretty radical here. I've just really sort of gone top end speed, high gearing, low downforce, and that's the reason that I'm just going super quick in a straight line. I don't know how it's working out for me, but it is. I mean, you'll just see here, I'm so much quicker than the AI in a straight line. They're probably doing maybe 190 max. I'm hitting 214, so we're probably about 25 miles an hour quicker than them in a straight line, which is obviously maybe not very realistic, but nonetheless, it's what's happened in this game for me to get in here and get to the point so quickly is because for some reason this was a tough setup to use in quali, but as soon as we get to the race, it's one that's really working out for me. I guess each lap is a bit more practice, and I'm starting to understand how to control this beast. It sort of drives like a truck, and as we get past Truly quite easily into turn 1, I think you're going to kind of get the trend of this video right now. If we just sort of keep up in the middle sector, we've got a chance down the main straight to get past, but try a bit of a bold move to get past Sato here, but yeah, that wasn't going to ever work out. We stick behind him for the rest of the lap and hope that we can get him down the straight once again. So my lap times are already quicker than they were in quali. I'm really starting to understand how to get the most out of this setup. It's so twitchy and it's just so awkward to look at on the screen, but it was a setup that was working for me, and I nearly get Schumacher by the braking zone as well, but I think that would be in a bit of a bold overtake if I tried to go for that one. Thankfully, that wasn't the case. But I looked at the inside here and do get the move down the inside. But Schumacher, obviously a wily old fox, gets past and he reclaims his 5th place for now. But then we just get our great top end speed, slipstream into turn 1. Lovely stuff. It does seem completely unrealistic and obviously could only happen in the game, but it's the same AI difficulty that I used for the rest of the season. I mean, if you look at the first, well, I guess sort of 6 or 7 races, I struggled to overtake on a lot of the tracks, and some of them I got some particularly poor results whilst my teammate was getting podiums. So I guess it's sort of swings and roundabouts. You know, we had our bad performances at the start of the season, and hopefully our results are only going to get better. We don't know, of course, we'll see, but this one's looking pretty good. We won last time out in Montreal, so I've got to say, in general, the results look like they're getting better, and we got the good result at Nürburgring the weekend before that as well. So in front of us here we've got a couple of cars that could promote us onto the podium here. So Montoya, then Alonso. If we can get past both of them, we're on the podium. How incredible is that? And let's see what this lap time is here. So I've been doing a 1:11.3 as my fastest lap of the race so far. So as we come around the final corner, are we going to be able to beat that, get into the 1:10s? Yes, we are. A 1:10.2. Great speed down to the first corner. Nearly quick enough to get Alonso, but I'm not being particularly brave on the brakes into turn 1 because you realise I'm carrying that much speed. If I brake just a tiny bit too late, it's going to be just absolute carnage. We wait a lap later, get an easy run at Alonso and past him, setting another 1:10 lap time in the process. it does, yeah, it's not the nicest way to get results and get past people here. Obviously, you'd like to have a nice wheel-to-wheel battle with someone, but I guess it's just the way the AI are programmed, and I guess I found that peak setup for this track here today. It's just really working in our favour, because this isn't particularly a track I'm any good at, to be perfectly honest. I struggled through the middle sector, as you saw on that full lap that I showed you. It wasn't particularly smooth, and then adding in the fact that this setup is so sort of mind-boggling to control. It's sort of so darty, and it's just not logical, and that's saying something for 2004 F1, where the setup and controls aren't logical anyway. So once you add this setup on top, it gets very tough to control. But I can't really complain. We're battling for a victory after starting way down the order, so I've got to hand all of this to the setup really as we go for Jensen's first position into the first corner in the braking zone. Some smoke as we go through, but I saw Jensen was still side by side with me, so I gave him the position, I gave him the room, and he took it. But then I looked to the inside here as I still have a bit of a pace advantage, but I run deep. He gets the switch back. Jensen goes through back into the lead this race. You know, we're running out of time here. Are we going to be able to get past Jensen, or are we going to have to stay in P2? I was a bit worried at this point, because I thought that might have been our last chance here, because he might pull off exactly the same manoeuvre on the last lap, because inevitably we're going to be losing time in this sector here. So that's been unfortunate to not get that move done. Actually, we sort of stayed with him here. Enough to obviously get our slipstream into the first corner, definitely closer than before, setting a decent enough lap time there as we go past Jensen into the turn one. This time we can definitely pull over to the left hand side and take the racing line-ish, even if my skills and control setup is not particularly helping that perfect line around this track. But this is the last lap of the race. Are we going to be able to pull this one off? Are we going to somehow, from 17th on the grid, win this race? Jensen is over a second back. He's lost so much time in that first sector. We're doing a bit of grass cutting on this last lap of the race. I think the pressure was definitely getting to me. I realised what a crazy position to be in after starting way down the order. Got to try and just bring this one home. Don't do anything too silly on the last lap of the race. I think I was probably getting a bit sweaty, thinking about somehow, you know, getting this result and putting 10 points on the board. I was, maybe sweating out a bit of nerves here. So, nonetheless, last couple of corners, Jensen definitely catches me in that middle sector, but he's not going to be able to get past me now. He hasn't got the slipstream. He hasn't got the setup. Somehow, from all the way down the back of the grid, 17th I think it was, we're going to bring home 10 points, the victory here in the United States. We crashed into the wall for some reason. If we didn't do that, we might have equalled our best lap, but quite incredibly, we win the US Grand Prix ahead of Jensen Button. Barrichello is third, Schumacher down in 6th there. So he's not going to be particularly happy with that. Barrichello outscoring him once again for the championship. And Button as well was kind of in the championship battle, I think, now as well. And Montoya as well, he's up there. So Michael Schumacher, even though he dominated this one in real life, he might not win this championship, which is kind of crazy to think. Kimi Raikkonen has an off day. He is beaten by his teammate Ralf Schumacher out of the points, as well as both of the Sauber drivers, Massa and Fisichella. Obviously, the biggest news of the day, Baumgartner not winning. Sad times. There's the driver's standings. Barrichello extends his lead. Montoya is in second. Schumacher still in third, even after a couple of bad results. And we're up to fifth, quite incredibly, ahead of Ralf Schumacher, Trulli and Panis now. Ferrari leading the Constructors' Championship by 20 points. And time for the best bit of the day. It's the podium ceremony once again. Of course, you guys loved the Canadian Grand Prix podium ceremony when half of it was missed by looking at a wall. So here we are. Hopefully the directors are a little bit better this time. They've gone for a wide shot. And it's nice to see my mechanic up there on the podium once again. And this gentleman's waiting to give me the trophies. The mechanic is kind of cringily just shaking all our hands once again as he goes and just stands to the side. You know, like the Ashley Cole meme. Nonetheless, we're probably listening to the national anthem right now. Obviously, they're probably not in the game, so you're going to just have to listen to some electronic music in the background of this outro. But Jensen Button looking like an absolute legend there on the podium. He knows he's still got a chance of this championship. The kind gentleman gives me a nice trophy to lift above my head. We've got 2 out of 2 in North America. That is exactly what we wanted. Second place goes to JB, even though Damas is obviously not British. I am, so I'm going to say a British 1-2 here today in the US. And Barrichello does put 2 Brazilians technically on the podium here today. So great stuff from him. He leads the championship. And of course, another big trophy goes over to Toyota. I feel like Martin Brundle right now and David Croft. Yes, celebrate, lad. This man walks through the portal. Who knows where he's gone. We'll see him soon, hopefully. So there we are, celebrations continuing on the podium. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of F1 2004. Always fantastic to record, lots of good fun in there and some interesting racing. Not particularly great overtakes, but it's what it is. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you soon. Goodbye.